3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Oh, yes. The day after convention where goodies were got, fun times were had. And, we picked up books. We were at PowerCon yesterday. Eric the Guapo, what is up, brother man? So yesterday was PowerCon in Florence, South Carolina. Very nice little town, Florence, South Carolina. We found out population of 38,000 people. So when Dennis and I were there, we made it 38,002.
Plus everybody else that came for the con. It was a well-received convention. Lots of people turned out on a day where most people could have been outside. It was 80 degrees, sunny, and hey, they chose to come to the convention, and it made it a blast. We had an absolute load of fun.
We did. What's up, Val? Hello, Hyper Kaiju.
Look at all these early morning risers.
Hold on for a second.
Uh-oh.
Nah, I get a text at the wrong time. All right, took care of it. Anyhow, so I was set up as a guest. They had me in as a guest. Of course, Dennis came with me. We have, of course, I did a little live stream yesterday from the show. I had my Penumbra banner, and then we have our banner for the Dennis and Andy show that was set up. Gave out some business cards so people could follow us here and on my channel. Met some cool people, chatted up about First Man and stuff, of course. And every now and then when the show got a little slow, as they do, Dennis would stay at the booth. I would do a little walking around and vice versa. So, of course, we need to do our What Did the Boys Get comic haul from the show. And we can go back and forth. A lot of the stuff I got, I'll be honest, I think the most expensive book I bought was only $4, so it's not like it was that expensive. And besides that, there were some great dollar finds in dollar boxes. So
I know it was amazing that they had some really good key books. So the comic vendors came prepared, but they brought some amazing dollar stock. I mean, that was probably the best dollar stock I've seen in years, and that's not an exaggeration.
That's true. But you also don't get out of the house much. So you're a kept man.
I am kept in, according to my wife.
You are kept in. You have a license plate that says so.
It does. It does indeed.
So starting off.
Let's start off with our non-comic book purchase.
That's exactly what I was going to do. Here we go. Of course, seeing the new Batman film. I do love the car. So I had to pick up the old Hot Wheels version of the Batmobile. Hot Wheels new for 2021. I already have one that's about 3 times this size. Die cast that has a little Batman figure displayed on my shelf. I showed on a different stream. But I love Hot Wheels. I don't know if Dennis even knows this. I collected Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars as a kid. I had a ton of them. And my dad actually, after I moved out, we kept them all. And we actually wrapped them up not individually around with paper towels. So when they were put into this tub, they wouldn't scratch each other. And I still have them in my back room.
Do you really? That would be fun to break out once.
I've got and some of them are worth money. And so I still have a bunch of the Hot Wheels cars. The hard part is I really want to bust this open, but a part of me also wants to leave it like this.
NRFB. By the way, that's a Dexter's Laboratory reference for those of you who never watched Dexter.
So NRFB.
Never removed from box. He got put in like a Barbie convention, and he tore something out of the box, and all the girls chased him for being NRFB.
Yeah, I'll probably leave it like this since I already have. I mean, now that I think about it, it was only $3. I probably should have bought two of them. But coming soon, Dragon Rider, a fantasy graphic novel by Dennis Turner.
Huh,
Okay.
Dragon Rider.
Even, Val just comes up with weird stuff sometimes.
He does.
So anyhow, Rip Dexter. Yep.
That was a great show for what it was.
So this will stay like this on the shelf since I already have one that is out of a box that I can put back in the box if I ever want to sell it.
Well, I also collected Matchbox as a kid. I apparently didn't have as many. I had one of those nice collector cases with the multiple levels, and I had put lined Kleenex in every one of them, and so that the cars wouldn't get scratched. But I tended to buy things like we did. We used to go camping, so I bought a truck with a camper that was very close to what we went in, the RV that, we would go in, all that kind of fun stuff. And, of course, my multitudes of 79 black Trans Ams with T-tops, my 79s, my Smokey and the Bandit versions and stuff. But one thing I never owned,
a Bluebird.
Look at that X-Men. There's the X-Jet. And notice mine's got 10 out of 10. Yours was 5 out of 5. I don't know really what that means because I haven't had these since I was a kid. And then I gave them all to my kids, nieces, and nephews because they were, all into it. So, but unlike Andy, oh yeah!
You said you were not going to do that yesterday.
I know I did, and you believed me.
Oh, screw that then. This baby's getting opened up. I was just kind of going along with you.
Well, look at this. How can you not want to play with an X-Jet? And it even comes with a neat little stand. Oh, yeah. Look at that.
I mean, let's be real. If for some reason this thing shoots up in value, it's going to have to be really valuable for me to go, why did I do that? I'm talking millions of dollars.
So this looks like the one from the animated series, the X-Men cartoon. Check that out. Mine has a stand. Obviously, Andy's doesn't need a stand. But you know what? These are cool little things. And I was like, yeah, how do you say no to something like that? So I'm going to put it down. I am just going to put it down with my collection of Smokey and the Bandit arrays of Trans Ams on my shelf downstairs, I think.
I got to admit, I am glad I opened this. Now, here's the real question. Will you save the packaging or does it go right in the can?
No, mine's already in the garbage. See, look, garbage right here. It's in.
Oh, well, then that's where mine's going.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's a Hot Wheels. They're Matchbox. I'm okay. I never was a huge collector for values on there. Unlike other stuff. So for me, that was just that was actually my very first purchase. Couldn't resist it. I was like, oh.
This is just so freaking cool. I got to admit, even though I have that one on the shelf behind me that is about 3 times bigger than this one, this is really nice. Looking at the detail on it and stuff, that is really nice. I love this car, man. This is my favorite Batmobile. Besides the 1966 one as of now. So
you can even see the little intake ports. I mean, these are good detail. And of course, I'm in my head, it's going one of the best cartoons other than Batman the Animated Series, probably best superhero cartoon on TV.
I'm such a dork. I'm rolling mine back and forth on the table now. Anyhow.
We went for comics, but we found something else fun.
That's right. All right, moving on. Actually, I take it back. The second most expensive purchase of mine yesterday was only $5. But it is a trade paperback, so it's not like it was for one comic. Before I show it, I know Brian Polito. I have read a few Lady Death books. If you remember at CrossGen, back in the day, CrossGen actually published some Lady Death. Yes, they were. Published some Lady Death. So those are the ones I mostly read. Excuse me. But I never read any of the original Lady Death stuff by Brian and Stephen Hughes, the original artist on it, who passed away way too young. And you know what? I saw this trade paperback, Lady Death, The Odyssey, for $5. And I thought, $5, it's original Stephen Hughes. What the hell? I mean, it's basically half price. When this thing originally came out, it was only $9 or $10. And, you know, there's something about this stuff that I just really enjoy visually. And I'm like, you know what? I want to give this a read. I mean, that's cool. Lady Death right there. So the funny thing is, I was telling Dennis, I actually picked up at a convention a couple weeks ago issues 2, 3, and 4. I'm just looking at the indicia of this. Yeah, this came out in 97. I picked up issues 2, 3, and 4 of the Odyssey for $1 at a convention, $1 each, so $3. And I was like, oh, okay, now all I gotta do is find issue 1. So yesterday when I was at this guy's booth, he had some Lady Death, but he didn't have just issue 1. So, and if he did, and even if it was like $8 or $9 for some reason, I don't know what it cost, I would have bought it instead of this because I already have 2, 3, and 4. But he had this for $5, and I'm like, so if I did not get any Aquaman, Christopher. If you add in the $3 I spent on the 3 issues and this, $8 total is what I'm basically saying I paid for this, which is still less than the $9.95 cover price. Still a deal. So now I've got 3 issues of Lady Death I can throw on my spin rack, and I've got this that I can read as a whole. So it was worth it. Hyper Kaiju says, I see old Lady Death comics all the time at shops and often buy them. Yeah, you know, if I find the original trade paperback to Lady Death that collects the first original 4 issues, I'll buy that. I have not seen that yet. But, you know.
Man, I used to collect Lady Death back in the day when they always had the signed versions and stuff with the little certificate of authenticity. I loved it. And, of course, when I did my first DC/Indie Purge, they went, and I've always regretted it. Same thing with Purgatory, My Evil Ernie, Helena. I mean, those were all, I enjoyed them all. I really wish I would have not got rid of them. So slowly, I agree with you. We got to pick them up. Yeah, it's just kind of funny. Aquaman, he did not pick up an Aquaman, but he did pick up, and we will see it later, something with Tiger Shark. Oh,
Yeah. Tiger Shark, baby. All right,
Yeah.
Dennis, you're up.
yeah. There were some really good memes that were out yesterday about Aquaman.
Aquaman. That's
Yeah.
Aquaman.
Well, my most expensive purchase of the day was it was an awesome purchase. We, of course, hung out with Bud Root for the convention. We had a blast. And if you guys haven't seen it or had a chance to visit him or pick it up, this is the cave paintings, the art of Bud Root. Frank Cho had edited it. And when you pick up the hardcover, he automatically does a really cool sketch in there for you. Look at that. It's like a half of a Jean Grey just sitting there staring at me. So it winds up being really cool. You know, he's got, they've got some great panels and stuff that are inside. Monkey Boy Press, this is who put this out. He's just got some great stuff. He's got some colored ones in there. If you're a fan of Bud Root and you really enjoy his art, and a lot of us do, I am telling you that this is just great stuff. This was hands down. Plus, I have to take a hiatus for a couple of weeks. My mother's getting surgery done. She's getting a hip replacement, so I've got to be up in Wisconsin for a few weeks. One of my really great friends, he's a huge Bud Root fan, knew we were going to the show, so he asked him. So I picked him up one of these as well as, well, I actually probably shouldn't show you guys because in case he watches this, he's going to know what he's getting. But, he does got a couple of really cool little books here. and that also have some great artwork and stuff that are in them with pinups and stuff like that. But it's just a great artist. I just love his stuff. So hands down, that was my most expensive purchase, and it's worth it.
There you go.
We are trying. We will get Bud on the show.
Yeah, Bud is not that technologically savvy, and I haven't been to his place. He doesn't live far from us. I haven't been over to his house in a while. I don't know if he has a webcam or not. I know you can do this on your phone. I'm going to have to...
you know what? We have him come over to your place and do it, and then I'll just be at mine since we won't fit three of us on the camera. But we could do that. I'll broadcast from here, and you two broadcast from your place.
That's true. I'll have to see about trying to do that. But yeah, we'll definitely get Bud on the show. I'm trying to talk him into doing an Indiegogo. I think he would crush it. But, you know, he's his own person and has his own.
He's a Rams fan. Need we say more?
Exactly. I mean, they get a Super Bowl and he thinks he's all proud and whatever.
He did have a really nice jersey, though.
It's good for another 20 years. All right. So another book I picked up for $1, and it's kind of sentimental. It's issue 39 of Quasar. And you're like, 39? Why? What is sentimental about issue 39 of Quasar? Whoops. Do this. It is the issue before the one I took over the book. I started on Quasar issue 40. However, Steve Lytle, I believe, was supposed to be the regular artist on the book because Greg Capullo's last issue was 38. So Steve Lytle gets the book, draws 39. He draws like half, I think, of issue 40. And the editor calls me and says, hey, you know, would you like to take over Quasar? And I said, sure, that'd be great. He goes, all right, we're going to have you start with finishing issue 40. The artist on it is having a problem. I don't know exactly what happened, but so I started with issue 40. Steve only did this one full issue before, and I do like Steve's work. And I thought, you know what, this would be kind of cool to get. I never got it, never read it. Now I got it. Now I'll read it over the next few days. So there you go. Little Steve Lytle and I mean, look at that splash page. That is just cool. Very cool.
It's a good book, man.
And you know what? Joe Bernardo pointed out, actually, because as I showed, I got that Quasar figure, the Marvel Legends figure, and I didn't even notice, but the paint on it, his costume, the red part of his costume at his waist comes down to a little point. It doesn't go straight across. And on the box, that's how it shows. On the comics, that's how he's drawn. But on the figure I got, it's actually painted straight across.
Oh.
So I'm curious because I've never seen another one of those figures, you know, in the wild, let's say. So I'm curious if I ever see another one of those figures at a show or whatever to see if it was just a paint mistake on mine or if all of them, they're just like, okay, we're painting it across. So who knows? But there you go.
My next one, I got a phone call while somebody was out shopping going, Dennis, do you happen to own the X-Men Talking Pages electronic storybook? And I was like, oh my God, no. And I didn't see it. So he was at one of the booths that I didn't make it to. Look at that. Now, it does have the switch and everything up in here. The batteries are obviously long dead. I am going to find out about getting replacement batteries for it. But, you know, it's a Talking Pages, kind of like the power books that I started doing the recordings for. And as we open them up, you know, yeah, look at that. It's very much from the from like the animated style. I actually really want to get this thing up and running, so that's going to be a project this next week. As I'm going to take a look at it. But obviously, as you turn the pages, you've got the little button you would press, and then the power switch, and then the speaker right there. So, yeah, while technically not a true comic book, how can you just not get that?
Well, and the thing is, it was actually drawn by Marie Severin, which is, you know, she was a famous artist from the 60s, 70s era of Marvel, and she passed away recently. But that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah,
So-
it's Michael Gallagher wrote it, and then Maria illustrated it.
And as Hyper says, that is 90s AF. So
good stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff.
all right, let's see. Next up, a little tribute to a professional. I got Maximum Press. I've been looking for this book, Black Flag, with the wraparound cover. Actually, is it more than a wraparound? Hold on. It is trifold cover, Black Flag. Now
That's a cool cover.
I have Black Flag #1 already with the cover that Dan drew that Todd McFarlane inked, and that was printed in black and white. And I actually picked up another one for $1 and gave it to Dennis. And but I didn't have this one in full color. So this one reprints, Dan told me, that stuff from the black and white book and more. So this one ends obviously where the black and white one does, which I haven't looked at it in a little bit. So I have to go back and look. But I think all the new stuff is with this dude Raiden. And that's why I wanted this, because I really like the way that dude Raiden looks. It's kind of Doctor Strange-ish. Yes, Val, this is Dan Fraga's book. So, so I picked this up. Black Flag, badass looking character and stuff. Had to get it. So, $1 bill, yo.
Nice.
Boom.
Nice. Well, I wouldn't filled in some of my my holes in some of my Fantastic Four from the mid late 70s. So these are nothing spectacular or anything, but issue number 176. Look at that, Impossible Man. Definitely, I didn't have that one. It's in pretty nice shape. That was definitely worth picking up.
Dude, that is classic GP George Perez work on that stuff.
Yeah.
I almost wanted it. I think it was issue 184. You picked up, and I flipped through it, and I was like, oh, this is a classic shot in it. And I got to say, when you were out walking around, I almost slid that book into my box.
Oh, and, just like you slid Faith #1 into my my pull that day.
Right, but you love Faith #1.
It's based off your story. And then 178, another one that I needed again, but this is just good classic Fantastic Four stuff.
Yep.
And then 181 with a nice at the entrance of the Baxter building. And of course 182. Oh yeah. Negative Zone. And then there's the one Andy was just talking about. The one with the Eliminator. Yeah.
That's a great one. I mean, that's one of the classic covers and everything. Joe Bernardo's here. Aloha, how are you? Hyper Kaiju says Dennis reads Faith. He does. It's one of the few books he has the full run of, besides X-Men.
No, not at all true. That's Andy's nose getting bigger, Pinocchio. So we were at a store, and I had to use the bathroom. So I handed him my stack. I said, just keep an eye on this. So I ran to the bathroom and came back. And he, of course, was like, oh, what books did you get? And I'm like, well, I don't know. You can kind of look through them. He goes, well, just tell me what you got. So I started flipping through them like, I got this and this and this. And he's kind of snickering, but I'm not really paying attention. And we go to check out, and the guy's like scanning them all in, one at a time. I don't even notice it. And all of a sudden we leave. I pay for everything. And he goes, so what did you get? And I knew he was asking too hard, so there was something up. So I started going through the books one at a time. Well, I was in the bathroom. Andy found Faith #1 in the pull box back there, slid it into my stack. So, yes, technically I do own it, and I paid for it. Butt munch.
Oh.
But, yeah, 189, another, I love this cover. And then the last Fantastic Four that I picked up was, of course, I also like this one. Glad I found that, issue 190. So anyway, just kind of filling in holes in my old collection there. They had some really nice stuff. So yeah, I was pretty happy with the shape of these and everything. And this these were all from TNT. Love those guys. Justin, shout out to you guys and your folks. You had some great stuff.
Yep,
Andy,
confirmed.
this is how rumors start because of shit like this.
If you want to get Dennis an early birthday present, you can always get him a Faith t-shirt. So, yeah. You know, you can always do that. If you do,
just make sure it doesn't have sleeves or I won't wear it.
I think you're correct. Amy Schumer would be perfect. Amy Schumer might have slimmed down a little too much, though, to her credit. So, you know. All right, moving on. Let's see. I'm looking through. Oh, I've been picking up old George Perez stuff. So this does not even need to be in a bag. I love books that are in bags that you're like, oh, that's silly. Just take that right out of the bag. That's not even bag worthy. Little Ultra Force Zero.
How is that not bag worthy, Andy?
By Perez and Alvey, the team, when they came back to do the Avengers. I love this stuff. AJ's here, so we can all relax. Don't do it.
AJ's here. There, AJ. That's what you were waiting for. Apparently, you bailed on the live stream yesterday, giving you the Vulcan symbol of happiness.
Man, if you're going to throw up a gang sign, Dennis, people are not going to hang around for that crap.
Really?
So, yeah, so I got this. So, very happy about that. That is, that's good stuff right there.
All right. I wound up picking up a couple of Avengers that they had also at TNT. Issue 163. It's got Herc. I mean, come on. This is just good classic stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Absorbing Man. I needed that one.
Oh, yeah.
You know, again, like the Absorbing Man. And, God, I love it when they have these type of things. Red Ronin, because he always reminded me of Raideen, one of the Shogun warriors, and it just felt like it. Like, hey, let's just rip off Raideen and put him in a book, but it always looked cool. So yeah, I found three Avengers that I needed to fill in some gaps.
I actually have a couple of those issues already. All right, moving on. I'm just looking through. Oh, I got this because we had our interview a few days ago. Week ago, whatever it was, my mind is, crazy, with Chuck Dixon, and we were talking about his Robin work, and I remember I had it back in the day, but when I did a purge, I got rid of it. So for $1, I picked up the good old Robin #1 by Chuck Dixon and my buddy Tom Lyle, who unfortunately passed away a few years ago, too young, and sweet Brian Bolin cover. I'm not going to pull it out, but it does still have the poster inside by Neil Adams, which I do actually have a copy of pulled out that's kind of beat up and stuff. So I thought this was cool, and I'm pretty sure this is the first printing. Not like it's because the first printing had the poster. I don't think any of the other ones did. So yeah, so I figured, you know what? I'm going to pick that up for $1. What the hell? There you go. Little Robin action. And while Dennis shows his next book, I want to see if I have this other thing back here real quick.
All right, look at this, everybody. Bullwinkle and Rocky, one of the Star comics. I used to have all the Star comics, the Thundercats, Silverhawks, Visionaries, which I picked up not too long ago. I'm just kind of going back and recollecting a lot of the Stars. For whatever reason, the Star comics have been making a huge comeback as of late. Price-wise, don't know why. Nobody can really answer that. It's kind of like what Moon Knight was for a long time. And while we're waiting on Andy, I'll just show you Marvel Spotlight on Captain America #2. This is one that I needed. I absolutely love this, and it was in really nice shape. No bag or board, but I don't care. I have plenty of them. kind of order those things in bulk. So pretty happy. That was another a really nice book to find and fills in another gap.
That's a great book. You know, great Pat Broderick artwork on the Captain Marvel. They actually reprinted that in that oversized Captain Marvel. How much do you think my full set of Justice League Avengers Near Mint signed by Prez would be if I got it slabbed? Well, Dennis,
it all
I'll
depends
let
on
you
the
take
grade,
that.
of course, because we were looking this up on the trip home yesterday. So we've got up to the date info.
That's right.
Newsflash.
Well, go ahead and tell them.
So we saw a set, unsigned, by the way, that was out there. They were 3 of them. 1, 3, and 4 were 9/8, and number 2 is a 9/9. Yes, a 9/9. Slabbed $800.
Unsigned.
Unsigned. So, of course, now these are top of the line. You aren't going to get any better than this, really. So it really depends on the condition. But
I mean, let's just say, because Joe says his are signed.
Right.
I mean, Joe, if yours are signed, and you can obviously, I'm sure when you got them signed, it was before they did the whole dumb witnessing thing, but I'm sure you can get them authenticated. If you got them slabbed, you know, if they've been in bags and boards, plus they were square bound and they come back at 9.0 or higher, I got to be honest. I'm thinking $1,000 maybe. I don't know. Unless you need to get rid of them, I would keep them. I'm actually looking to buy another full set because once again, I used to have the full set. Then I got the trade paperback that came out 10, 12 years ago. And now that trade paperback is going for over $100. And I'm thinking of looking to buy a new full set just to have because it's still relatively cheap. At I think the last I saw at a convention a couple weeks ago, it was the Rock Hill Comic-Con, I think. It was number 1 was 10, number 2 was 10, number 3, because of all the characters on the cover, was I think 25, and then number 4, where Superman's holding the hammer and shield, I think was 40. So I mean, you know, there's another show in town next weekend here Dennis and I go to. So I might get a full set just to have it. That's one of those books I like to have all the iterations of. So yeah, I mean, I would keep it. I would.
You know what? I'm pulling up data for you. So while Andy was talking, I'm only seeing one that's available right now. All 4 issues signed, all unslabbed, so they're raw. There's no bids on it. It ends today. They're asking $4.99.
$499.
Yep.
For all 4 issues.
Yep.
No bid.
Near mint. All signed by George Perez.
Oh, they're all signed. Oh, okay. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah, that's what I said. 4. Now, there's a bunch of them that aren't, and they're ranging right now. They're bidding on them, and they're bidding going over 100 and some bucks. The buy it nows look like they range from about 150, 200. Some people are really asking a lot more, but obviously they're not going for it. And I'm always checking. I like to pull up my comic shop just to see what people have turned in for them to consignment sign. And number 1, slabbed one unsigned is about 125 asking. 2 for a 9/8 in that same ballpark. But yeah, it doesn't look like they have any signed ones comparatively right now. So anyway, based on that, yeah. I would probably, and nobody's buying it. Let me hit the sold here while we're doing it. Signed by George Perez, 1 through 4, sold for $330, all high grade near mint. $330, 297, 200.
And once again, that's unslabbed, right?
These are all raw, unslabbed, all signed.
Yeah. So
yeah, and I'm looking January 1st, February. So it looks like the older ones went for about 200 to 240, so it's probably after the announcement. And now they've been going up. So the last one to sell was March 15th, $330. So that's how much it recently just sold for all 4 signed in near mint condition.
Oh, nice.
So somebody's asking $5 right now and nobody's bid on it. So that means it's overpriced.
Right. Exactly. All right. Let's see. We got sidetracked. Is it my turn or yours?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Let's see. Oh, I love the Phantom. I've always loved the Phantom, guy in the purple onesie. I have some of the Charlton ones, mostly the ones. I have all the Charlton ones drawn by Don Newton because I think they're gorgeous. My favorite artist on the Phantom strip was Cy Berry. And in the dollar box, once again, this came out in 1974. I got the Phantom number 60. Nice Jim Aparo cover. Excuse me, before he jumped over to DC. Nice Jim Aparo cover. The main thing about this book is smell. Can't you smell that smell of good old comics? Love it. I actually looked it up at the show yesterday. The artwork looks like it's drawn by Cy Berry, but going by what the old Google says, it's not. I can't remember who the artist is, but whoever it is definitely was taking a cue from Cy Berry in regards to the art style and stuff. So I just, I love this stuff.
So did you see the movie?
Of course I did.
Billy Zane
as the Phantom. So yeah, so I had to get that for $1. Couldn't resist. Just love the Phantom. Be reading this later. One more time. Who needs cocaine when I can just go over to my table over here and take a whiff and it's not illegal?
I love that smell of acidic pages.
Acidic.
Always good.
Always.
Well, my next one is I used to have all the Robotech. You all know by now I loved Robotech. I'm so pissed I got rid of them. So I've been collecting. I think I'm missing 6 issues. By George, they had issue number 7, which was one of the ones that I needed. A nice one with Lisa on the cover. So, yep, I filled that one in. So I think I'm down to 5 more to recomplete it. I did see a couple of the original Robotech, the Macross one-shot, the early one that they had done. So that was nice to see that a couple people appreciate.
You're talking about the one that's kind of expensive, right?
Yeah, it is expensive. It's about $100 right now, give or take 10.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple of those. Just love Robotech. So yes, I managed to get that.
Very cool. I guess it's my turn. This came out back in 2004. I probably remember when it came out. It is DC Comics Presents Justice League. Great Jose Luis Garcia Lopez cover. Once again, just for $1, the cover is worth it. Signed by Peter David. Woohoo. But the reason I got it, once again, it came out 18 years ago. I don't remember it that well, so I picked it up. I started flipping through it, and the main story in it is actually penciled and inked by Joe Giella, who did a lot of inking in the 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and then petered out some in the 80s and stuff because he's an older gentleman. I believe he's still with us. He's in his 90s, I believe. And I love Joe Giella's inking, and just seeing this nice lead story of the classic Silver Age Justice League drawn by him, I thought was really freaking cool. So, and this is based on a story from Justice League number 53. It's a tribute issue. And yeah, it's written by Harlan Ellison, adaptation by Peter David, art by Joe Giella. So nice. I thought for $1 for that fantastic cover, well worth it. Give it a read. There you go.
Well, my next one was also $1. Good find for me. 2001, A Space Odyssey. This is issue number 2. Of course, Jack Kirby did it all. He wrote it. He drew it, edited, written, and drawn by Jack Kirby. I mean, that is just, I love this. Is classic Kirby stuff. I love it. But look at that Bionic Man ad right in the beginning. This is half the reason to buy physical comics. Look at that. Steve Austin versus Maskatron. I used to have that toy. I'm really bummed. My buddy's house that I'm going to, I'm pretty sure he's got one. I absolutely love it. You know, the bionic arm, leg, but it's Kirby. I mean, for $1, this is just a no-brainer, even if you already had multiple issues of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is a good book. I mean, you can't go wrong. It's Kirby, you know. There's just no going wrong with that book. So kudos. All right, let's see what's up next. Look. Oh, you know, this is one I told Dennis after I bought it. I said I might already have it. And I'm almost, actually, when I bought it, I'll be honest, I think I'm 99.9% sure I do. But damn, for $1, whichever one is in worse condition will go on my spin rack. Had to get this Daredevil, classic Daredevil 157. Gene Colan art on the inside, inked by the ever fantastic Klaus Janson. I mean, just a great team. You've got, look at that art. Look at that art right there. I love Klaus Janson's work over Gene Colan. If you've ever seen Gene's pencils, he's definitely not one of the easiest guys to ink. It's got the champions in it, Black Widow, Hercules. It really is just gorgeous artwork. Just beautiful stuff. So had to get that for $1. Like I said, I know for a fact I already have it, but I don't care because this will just go on my spin rack. My spin rack is basically inspiration to look through and just get jazzed up to want to do some scribbling. So there you go.
All right, my next one. It's one that, again, my buddy who's got the $6 Million Man wound up getting this issue, and I saw it. And Val Merrick and Vince Coletta did it. Creatures on the Loose. Thongor. It just absolutely loved it. I sat there and actually read it when I was over at his house. He had like 3 or 4 issues in a row. This is to me just really good classic stuff. I mean, if you guys like Conan and Call and, you know, yeah, was this a ripoff? It sure was, but it's still fun stuff. I absolutely enjoy this. Again, they had it sitting there for $1. It's just a no-brainer. No-brainer.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And look at that. We just got Hyper Kaiju all jazzed up about old comics, right? And then at the very end, I'm going to talk a little bit about new versus old.
Oh, you are.
What you got, Andy?
Oh, I'm excited to hear new versus old. All right. Let's see. Oh, another one I bought just because of the art. I know Dennis is trying to collect the whole run. At least I think you are. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But Defenders number 40.
Yep,
great.
I am.
Yep. So great. Oh, do you need this one, number 40?
No, I have that one.
I was gonna say if you need it for you, $10.
Yeah, and you paid what? 5, 3?
I paid $1.
1.
Defenders number 40. Great Gil Kane, Klaus Janson cover. And once again, hold on. Can't you smell that smell? Flipped it open. Sal Buscema, Klaus Janson. Klaus Janson just makes everybody look awesome. I love Sal's work as it is, but when Klaus inks them, it's really spectacular. So I just had to get this for $1. Just beautiful stuff. This will almost all this stuff will go in bags and boards once I'm done reading it. But you know, it's got Power Man. It's got the female, I guess, Red Guardian, whatever her name is. I guess it's just Red Guardian, maybe. I can't remember. But and one of my favorite characters, Nighthawk. Everybody loves Nighthawk. Even Dennis does. What? You son of a bitch. Why would you even collect Defenders then?
I like Nighthawk slightly more than I like Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern.
You bastard.
Well, my next one actually was a bit of a newer comic book, and it's just because of who it Thank you, AJ. Well, and you can't kick him out of the stream, so ha!
Oh, you are insane. Insane. Nighthawk is awesome.
So I picked up a couple of new ones just because, I mean, Star Trek, Planet of the Apes, could you get any better together? This is fun kind of stuff. Rachel Stott did it, you know, and I'm just going to show you the artwork. For me, a good Star Trek book, they have to be able to draw ships. And, you know, the Enterprise looks good, got some good Klingon stuff. The art's fairly decent in there. And, you know, I love Star Trek. You all know that. You know, AJ. I love Planet of the Apes. So putting them together, it's like the Star Trek Green Lantern. Star Trek really held up that series.
I guess.
Look at that. Even Hyper would have bought that.
Well, you know, no accounting for taste. Just because of the Star Trek side. That's all.
Yeah, that's all right. I don't know. I like Planet of the Apes too. Matter of fact, I've been trying to hunt down some of the book on records for Planet of the Apes. Man, I can't find them at the shops. Nobody's got them. So that's going to be a hard hunt, I think.
Really?
You got a book or are you
I have
done?
the Planet of the Apes book on record. Do I have the Planet of the Apes book on record? That's a good question. I don't think I have that one, actually. So
They got multiples, but hopefully I'll be able to find one.
Hopefully.
Or two or three.
Oh, so this came out as a facsimile edition last year. So I picked it up. And for $1, and you're going $1, that thing should cost more than $1. Well, the cover is almost falling off, but it's complete. And I do have the issue after it. I now have the real edition of Marvel Premiere, Man Wolf, issue 45, drawn by, once again, George Perez in his youth. So now I have the facsimile edition, the real 45, and the real 46, which I picked up at a con just a couple weeks ago as well. So that was cool. Had to get that.
Nice. Well, I picked up, I mean, again, in the dollar bin, and I know it's got a bad cover and everything like that. And I'm okay. It's $1. But I mean, Roy Thomas wrote it. John Buscema and Dan Atkins. So they teamed up on this one to draw it. But it is classic Conan. And again, for $1, even with a little bit of bad shape, this is a nice reader copy. You know, it even still had the card inside. Wish it was complete, but then I went to pay $1 for Crom. That's right.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. All right, let's see. Crom. All right, getting to one of the books that I know Dennis wishes.
A buddy of mine has the full collection of Planet of the Apes. The Mego. Nice. That is one I never had. I've got all the Star Trek ones, but no Planet of the Apes. Would like to see those.
So this is a book I know Dennis wishes he owned. I'm surprised he didn't steal it from me. The good old issue 14 Marvel Team Up, Spider-Man and a Savage Submariner, Gil Kane, gorgeous artwork. And that's right, baby. There he is, Tiger Shark in all his glory in the book. Oh my G. OMG. This book is awesome. It's beat the shit. It very well might just go on my spin rack. It's actually inked by W. Howard, who I don't know if that's a pseudonym. I don't know if that's a real person because it's literally the initial W, the last name Howard, says inker. I don't recognize these inks. They're definitely not that great over top of Gil, but it's got the Tiger Shark, baby. That's all you need. Oh, AJ's got to go. All right, buddy. We'll catch you later.
Later.
Once again, too bad, Dennis. Too bad.
Well, the good news is, AJ, you can always come back later and watch it in its entirety if you're really curious to see what we've got at the end here.
That's true.
And so the next one is just filling in holes again. Micronauts, issue number 35. Bill Mantlo did the story, and I mean, I always did kind of like this. Val Merrick had done this, and Bob Layton on the cover. Just
Is
needed
it Bob
to fill in
Layton
the
on the
hole.
cover?
What's that?
Is it Bob on the cover?
Isn't that Bob?
Let me see. Hold on. Is it signed?
Oh yeah.
It is Bob. Oh, sweet. Very nice.
Yep. So, I mean, I was big. I had some of the toys. I kind of liked Micronauts. I had gotten rid of them, kind of recollecting them again.
Yep. Yep, that's right, AJ. Well, AJ, you're not here, but go back and you can see about Dennis's love of faith. So we're not talking about in the Lord above, but the comic that he just adores.
Wow. Wow.
Yep.
This is, again, rumors. This is how they start, Andy.
It is. So I saw this for $2, $2, and I was like, shit, yeah, I'm getting that for $2. The new Teen Titans number 4, the Justice League of America versus the new Teen Titans. More early George Perez. I don't have it, and now I do. So had to pick that up. George and Romeo Tangel doing the inks. Yep, had to get this. 1980, 42 years ago. My God. That's good stuff.
It is. And the last one of the older ones that I got was Captain America 236. And of course, look at that. The Deadly Designs of Dr. Faustus. So, yep, again, there's just really between the late 100s and 250, there's just a few holes that I've got. So if I can find a nice, relatively good price book, I will pick that up anytime.
Sweet. Wait, so are you done?
With all my older stuff, yes. And I'm not going to do much of the newer.
You just have to sit here and watch me. I know how much you enjoy that.
Ugh.
So this was the most expensive book I bought for $4. It's a DC Comics Presents Superman and Metamorpho. You're like, I don't understand. Why? What's the appeal? Do you collect that series? The answer is no, I do not collect this series. I collect specific issues from it. This one just happened to be drawn by Irv Novick. Irv Novick from Flash back in the 70s. Irv Novick from Batman. That's what he did a lot of, was Batman. And I never really saw, and I loved his Batman work, but I never really saw Irv draw Superman. So just through Google and looking around, I saw that he drew this one issue of DC Comics Presents Superman and Metamorpho, drawn by Irv Novick, and I flipped through it, and it looks really cool, so I had to get it. Next, I only got 2 left. I got the old Warlock #1 special edition. This is 5 issues. It was $1. It collects all the classic Jim Starlin Warlock stuff. I mean, the splash page alone is just great. I don't have any of these original comics, and it doesn't bother me if it's a reprint. Love that Warlock. So had to get this, and then this collects 2 issues, I believe, maybe 2 or 3. Love this splash page too. Death Ship. Just love that. Jim was just great at pulling you into the story with his great splash pages. His writing was phenomenal in this stuff. I want to see if it says in the indicia. Yeah, this collected Strange Tales 178, 79, and 80. So, I mean, look at that. 3 issues and 1 for $1. Cover price was $2. And then last but not least, by any means, Flash Special #1 from 1990. Great Joe Kubert cover. Love Joe Kubert. Seeing him draw superheroes is fantastic. So I'm like, let me see who did the inside of this, because I don't remember. It's from 1990. Carmine Infantino has a story in here, inked by Joe Rubinstein. Joe is one of my favorite inkers, and he, inking Carmine stuff looks great. There's also a story in here. Oh man, I'm blanking on it. by another artist from the time. I don't even feel like opening up to look, but needless to say, this is a great, I really dig the cover. I love that Flash. And look, guys, even rock stars like Joe Kubert, they do stuff that doesn't work and doesn't make sense. And I'll be honest, this Golden Age Flash right here, that leg going back right here makes no sense. This is his thigh. That's his knee right here. And yet somehow all the way up here is his calf, where if this is his leg, little art lesson here, his knee would actually be, it just doesn't work at all. But who cares? It's just cool. So,
and that's what matters.
And that is what matters. So
guys, they actually had a bunch of brand new stock that's just a couple months to 10 months old. They were blowing them out for $1 a piece.
Yep.
And, a lot of it's Marvel, DC. We are starting to see the decline. I'm going to show you a few good ones that I did wind up picking up. Check these out. The Superman logo. There's the Black Label series.
I meant to actually ask you about that. Even though they were $1 and they had a bunch of them, I just went right past them because like Dennis, I got before I get to it. So why did you pick those up? I
like Lobo and I like Superman. I've always kind of enjoyed it. They're hit or miss. It's Black Label, which means they're edgier. And I mean, if I were at the shop, these are $7 a piece. So it would cost me $21. For $3, I'll pick them up.
Now,
but they had Joker, they had the Harley Quinn stuff.
How many issues is it?
3.
So you still have,
3.
Oh, it's really just 3 issues. So you got the whole run. Okay.
Yeah. So for $3, I basically picked it up, and it's Lobo. I mean, for $3, I'm going to pick it up.
No, that's cool. I still, even though now that I know it's $3, it's 3 books. I thought it was 4 or 5. That's why, because I was like, then I'm still.
No, I think that's a 3. They had Joker, but they only had 2 of the issues there, so I didn't pick it up. And you'll appreciate this because, of course, DC's putting out these bigger ones. It's Green Lantern. It's the anniversary. It's a $10 book, brand new. If you want to go, you can. Most of the shops still have that and this for $1. So the shops are literally buying these for $5 and are turning around and selling them for $1 just to get them the hell out of their store.
I almost bought one of the Green Lantern ones because that all those 80th anniversary or whatever have tons of variant covers. Yep. And the one I bought when it came out was the Neil Adams one, of course. But it was hard to decide because Doug Mahnke did a cover, and I love Doug's work. And I almost bought the Doug Mahnke one for $1. But then I'm like, nah, I mean, it is a nice cover, but I just don't need 2 of the 80th anniversary ones. But I did get, for instance, I showed you, Dennis, DC put out last year. I'm a big Shazam fan. And DC put out last year the Shazam. I got him right here. I can just show you. DC put out last year a Shazam miniseries drawn by Clayton Henry. And I do like Clayton's artwork. And it was 4 issues, and I didn't buy them when they came out. And I was like, I'll just get the trade paperback. And the trade paperback comes out within like a month or whatever. It comes out in April, I believe. But you know what? For $4 for the 4 issues, score. So I got those. I also got, look, I'm still a Superman fan. I like the Authority. They did a 4-issue miniseries last year with Superman and Authority. I like the guy's artwork in it as well, written by Grant Morrison. $4 for all 4. Don't have to get the hardcover or trade. So, I mean, that was super worth it as well. So, yeah, I did pick up some stuff from them too.
Bunch of the guys have been telling me to at least check out Gunslinger. Because they've got Scorched and Gunslinger in the Spawn world universe, and it's good. And so for $1 a piece, they had 3 of them. So I'll pick it up, see if it's any good. But so I'm going on their recommendation. Yeah, I wonder why Chuck wasn't in the Robin. Why they didn't ask him to do it.
I wouldn't be appalled. I didn't look at the Robin 80th anniversary, but it doesn't surprise me in the least. It's ridiculous. He should have been in it. You should
Correct.
have been, it's
Stupid
just
politics
stupid.
at DC, which is why they're going down the tubes. Now, this is one that I kicked around, and I was just like, man, with all the books I get every Wednesday, do I really want to get Purgatory? Because I used to get Purgatory back in the day. But man, there's the first 5 issues, $1 a piece, in fantastic shape. And I'm like, screw it. Got to pick up Purgatory. I'm going to check out the newer stuff and see if it's any good.
Oh, well, there you go.
Along those lines, they also had Vampirella versus Purgatory. So I'm like, again, $1 a piece. I wasn't going to spend full price on them at the shop. G.I. Joe, $8. This is a huge, oversized book. And again, the art looks good. This is, written by Larry Hama. And anyway, for $1, can you go wrong even with New Joe? No, kind of. For $1, it is worth picking up.
Yeah. So that is wow, we've been going an hour.
I didn't expect to go this long.
I know. And that's exactly what your wife said.
Damn. She heard that, by the way. Now your ass is grass.
I know, she just sent me a text going, I'd be happy with 10 minutes. You're
so full of shit. And you say it with almost a straight face.
I mean, I have my phone, and you know.
Yeah, show the message.
No, I'm not going to dox your wife that way.
Yeah, okay. Anyway, what I'm saying, guys, is, the new books, everybody was going back and picking up at this show a lot of the old stuff. I mean, that's what's selling right now. The new stuff, they're blowing it out, just trying to get it. For $1, I'll pick up some of the stuff, but I'm just not. And I did drop Thor, FYI, from my pull list. So I dropped another Marvel comic, and a head full of refrigerators is over. So I don't think I have any DC on my pull, and I'm now down to Star Wars and X-Men for Marvel. That's it.
Right. Wow. Crazy talk. So there you go, guys. That is our haul for the week. Or not for the week, but for the PowerCon show. Next week, of course, is Charlotte Comic-Con, which is a little one-day show. It's not little. Actually, it's grown quite large.
Size,
it's in a hotel. Yeah, it's in a hotel about a half hour from here. I have a table there. I'm telling myself, because I still have this stack of books. I still have a stack from PowerCon. Or not PowerCon. What was the PowerCon was yesterday? There was a con. It wasn't Rock Hill, because you and I went to Rock Hill, but there was another little con. You couldn't go. It was a last minute thing. You couldn't go.
Yeah, I had that family emergency with the broken car and stuff.
Right. What was the damn it, what con was that? Because I ended up obviously just going by myself. Oh, it was Larry's convention.
Yeah, Larry's. And I couldn't make Larry's, and I was really bummed because I love his shows. Yeah,
Larry had a friend, Larry Allen, had a show about an hour from here. I drove up to it. I did get some books, but I still have that stack of books, and now this stack of books. Next weekend is the little Charlotte Comic-Con, and I told Dennis yesterday, I swear I'm just going to glue myself to my chair and just draw at the convention. I'm not going to get up because I don't need more stuff to read, but lo and behold, I'm sure I will come home with something. It always happens. And
I'm limiting myself at this show. I'm still trying to pick up, obviously, the book and records. There's a few holes I need for the old $6 Million Man, some Bionic Woman, Space 1999, a few Gold Key Star Trek. So, I'm going to just try and stick to that.
Yep. I'm going to try and stick to, I have an app on my phone where I record my collection and stuff, and there's a wish list part of the app. My wish list isn't that big, really, at all. And I think I might just stick to the wish list only, and because some of the stuff on the wish list is hard to find. And if I just stick to the wish list only, I might come home with 3 or 4 books next week, which is fine.
Joe, the crowd was really good. I mean, it was, for a while there, it was packed. And on a beautiful day where I figured everybody would be outside, they came in. Very few people wearing masks. Nothing's on it. That's basically gone by the sidelines. And things are kind of returning to normal. It was a solid crowd. It did thin out later. You know, the Artist Alley stuff, it was a little bit lighter back there. But overall, it was a very well attended, I thought. And from the sounds of it, it looks like they hit their numbers. And most of the dealers I talked to did really well.
Yeah. So there you go. So thanks for joining us on this coming Wednesday at 5 p.m. We have Joe M. Sontag joining the show. He's the creator of Reaper Destroyer, which is the sign up is on Indiegogo now. So you can search Reaper Destroyer and go sign up for that. And Joe will be on the show Wednesday to talk about it, talk about his career and stuff like that. It should be a fun interview.
We'll probably hop on because we watched Project Adam. If you haven't seen it, go see it. But we will do a review at some point, especially since we got a guest on Wednesday. We will probably pop in at some point.
There you go. And Val says, keep your eyes on Dennis Turner's Bimbo Buster, an erotic fun comic book that'll make you bust your load, coming soon to Indiegogo.
You know, if we ever need help getting a title for a book or anything, we'll just have to ask Val. He comes up with some good ones.
He does knock it out of the park. All right. Until next time, guys, we will see you maybe before Wednesday, but definitely on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll leave you with this. Bye, everybody.